So today what we're going to actually take a look at is how to round. Again, just to remember how to round, okay? But the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go over this concepts here. Well, maybe if a baker or cook, being a baker or cook doesn't interest you, but you still want to work in the field of hospitality. Basically, that's what we call the service industry. Then waiting tables is the job for you. Some of these people that work as hosts or some as bussers, some work as dishwashers, and some work on waiting tables. Okay. Now, whatever the case, there are tips to be made. So let's try to remember how we used percentages, how to calculate tips for the tables in this activity. Okay. So remember, we're just trying to remember that tips is nothing more than percents, which is what we call a proportion, right? So let's go over some of the concepts. Some of the concepts that you'll need. So some of the concepts that you'll need are percents. And then within percents, we're going to need to be able to do the following. We need to be able to do discounts, which refers to money taken away. From the price. We also need to be able to do tax, which is money added to the amount. And we also need to be able to round money to 2 decimal places. So this is just a quick reminder of how we used to do this, all right? The key idea is this. When we're rounding, we underline the place that we want to underline, okay? Now, when we've done that, right, what this will allow us to do is it will allow us to look at the number that we are going to round, okay? Now, we underline that number that we're looking for, but then we have to circle or underline or identify the number to the right of it. That number to the right of it will allow us to make a decision. So that's what this step 2 is about here, right? If it's 4 or less, we let it rest. If it's 5 or more, we raise the score. So what the heck does that mean? Let's do some quick practice using dollars and cents. So here's an example. Let's say that I get, when I do some mathematical calculation, I get $5.84. Okay? So what I want to do is I want to underline the number that I want to round to, because remember, with the money that we have in Canada, we have dollars and cents. With some amount of money and 2 blocks of cents, right? So we only want to go to 2 spaces. So when we have 5845 as our answer, what we're going to do is we underline and then we're going to look at the 5. Remember, our rule says right now we have 84. $5.84. And because why we have $5.84, we have to look at the 5 beside it. So the 5 beside it means we have to raise the score. So now instead of 584, we're going to have our final answer being $5.85. Let's try that again. Let's say we have the following number. So you do some math calculation and you end up with the following number. 123.633. Now, we only want 2 decimal places, so we count 2 over, and this is the number that we're looking for, and we're going to consider the 3. So when we round, we're going to round this to $123. And remember, the rule is 4 or less, we let it rest. 5 or more, we raise the score. So we end up with 63. That's it. Let's try it again. E.g., let's say we have $25 and 26.7. When we multiply and we get those last 3 digits, we always look for the second digit past the decimal, and we consider the number just to the right. So we have 25, 26, 7. So the rule is 4 or less, let it rest. 5 or more, raise the score. Let's try that one more time. So we're going to write 25, and then we're either going to make this be 26 or 27. So we have 26. There's a 7 after it, so we have to write it up to 27, and we're done. So remember, when we're rounding cents, we always look for two decimal places. Okay, and then we use our rule for rounding. 4 or less, we let it rest. So here's another example. So let's say we have 1.577. So we have to look 2 decimal places. So we count 2 over. So there's our number, and there is the number we have to consider. So now, is this $1.57 or is this $1.58? That last 7 on the end tell us it's going to be $1.58. And we're done. Example again. $1. Let's go $11.58. So look for the last decimal place, so 2 spaces over, and we look at the next number. So do we write that as $11.58 or write that as $11.59? So we write that as $11.59 because our 6 is 5 or more, and we've raised the score. One more time, e.g., $11.92.3. So now we look at this 2. We look at 1923. So we've underlined the 2 and look at the 3. And because it's 4 or less, we let it rest. So we write $11.92. And we're done. All right, now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to quickly do the problems that I've posted online, go over the quick note that we have, and then we'll take a look at percents as well.